Oh, we have life.
This is a lot of fun.
This guy, am I right? Today's video is sponsored by Skillshare, but more about that later. Look what arrived. Oh wait, maybe you don't know what arrived because you can't see it. Oh, this thing is heavy. They said they were heavy, and they were right. Boom. Wait, let's fix that for you. Hold on. Boom. There you go. Boosted Rev. I'm coming to you guys from a very specific perspective on this Boosted Rev, and that is that I don't know every single spec on this. I'm not here to break down the comparisons between this and the other scooters. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unbox this thing really quickly, and then I'm gonna give you guys my perspective on what it's actually like to own and ride a Boosted Rev. Let's jump into it. All right. Voila, there it is, all in its pretty little package. So let's figure out how to take this off. Little disassembly guide right here. Looks like we got a little Allen wrench in there. This would be the handle, which is attached to the bar. Oh, no, that's just gonna pop in just like that. See that nice little headlight on the front there? So that comes off there. There's an Allen wrench inside there we probably need. Don't need that. Risk of death or serious injury. They are not messing around on this. Let's see if we can, oh, there we go. Oh. By the way, I don't recommend you do an unboxing of a 40-pound Boosted Rev on a glass table. Let's get the accessory box out. So we'll get rid of all that, and inside of the accessory box, nicely packaged there, safety and compliance. Really? I'm just kidding. Always be safe. We'll read that later, I promise. A couple of more manuals. Gotta have your boosted stickers, right? Maybe I'll put this on my one-wheel charging stand. There's the charging brick. Another little box here of what looks like, not sure what those are. Maybe they are tire stem for pumping up the tires. We'll find out. I don't know what this is. Fully deflate tires before removing screws. There's some extra tubes. It looks like they provide a couple of extra tubes for the front and rear tire because they know we're going to abuse this thing. So let's set this down on its side here in the middle, and let's just put this together. But I'm gonna speed this up, so here we go. Voila, there we go, all fully assembled. It was super easy and straightforward. The little card that comes with it, there's literally 4 steps, and it's very straightforward. Don't overthink this step because it really is very simple. To undo this back handle, you just push down on the wheel cover, and then this just slides directly up. You pull down this right here, and it snaps right in there, so it's nice and tight. And there we have it. The Boosted Rev, fully assembled, ready to go. There's that display right there, which, should we turn it on? Let's turn it on. Ooh, I'm gonna plug it in and get this thing fully charged before we take it out on its maiden run. And I am super excited to see what this thing can do.
So right in the back of my Tesla, I have the Boosted Rev, and we're going to pull it out now. It fits in really, really well, as you can see here, but it certainly is not light. Let's just say
It's heavy!
All right, let's see what this thing can do.
So the overall pulling it out of the car, getting it set up, ready to go is super fast and easy. Just pulling up that handlebar, very intuitive with pushing down the cover over the wheel, which unlocks it and then locks it into place. As I discussed a little bit later, I do feel a little bit nervous about the amount of strain I put on that front handlebar. A lot of that has to do with because I'm, not a small dude, 250 pounds, and so that is something that, You know, it's probably just more personal to me, but you are going to put a lot of force on that handlebar, and the fact that it does bend backward does give me a little feeling of hesitation when I'm riding the boosted board. I'm sure over time I will start to get used to that and be more comfortable with it. Yeah, it's a little weird feeling pulling back so hard on the handlebar, knowing that it collapses and folds. So here I am taking off in mode 3, just to show you a little bit of acceleration here. The thing definitely gets up and goes, enough so that I really feel it throwing my weight back as I accelerate, especially in mode 3. I feel it some in mode 2 and definitely none in mode 1. I tend to stay in 3 just because, I don't know, I'm heavier, I like to go fast, and so I keep it in 3. But 2 is a really comfortable place to ride and a lot less jerky as well. When you're in 3 and that throttle is being pushed forward, when you hit any bumps and stuff, that's going to move the throttle. That's one of the things I really noticed. A lot of that's probably going to come with some practice and getting used to that throttle and how it works. I love the throttle. I love how intuitive it is. I love the electronic brake. I found myself very rarely ever using the other 2 brake options between the handlebar and the back foot, but the overall acceleration can feel a little bit jerky because your thumb is constantly on the throttle. If it's not pushed forward, you're not going anywhere, and you definitely start to slow down immediately. So I'm sure that'll just come with some practice over time. So overall, the ride is fairly smooth as long as you're on smooth pavement. As you can see here, I'm on pretty rough pavement, and then I transitioned to a little bit smoother pavement, and it did make a huge difference in the ride quality. The scooter itself, of course, it has no shock absorbers other than the 3-inch tires, which they are actual inflated tires, so you get a little bit more cushion there in the tires versus some of the other wheels that are on electric scooters out there. But just be prepared for a little bit of a rougher ride if you're going over rougher terrain. The other thing that I did not see mentioned in the manual or the startup guide is how to turn the front headlight on. The button that you see right there on the below the digital display, that one button, you single press and hold it to turn it on and off. You double press it to turn the light on and off, and then you triple press it to cycle through the modes. So you triple press it and it goes from mode 1 to mode 2. You triple press it again, it goes from mode 2 to mode 3, and then you triple press it again and it goes back around to mode 1. The scooter itself is ridiculously intuitive and easy to just jump on it and go. Certainly no learning curve like I had when I was first riding my one wheel. It is a lot of fun. The one thing I did notice is that when you're holding the handlebars, I really felt like I had to hold on to both handlebars at all times, because if I let go of one hand and I accelerated, the instinct was to pull back on the handlebar, which turns the wheel and you don't go on course as intended. So from that standpoint, you definitely need to keep your hands on the handlebar at all time. I've even seen some videos posted online already where people were having accidents because they were taking one hand off of the handlebar and then losing control. One thing that I love about my one wheel is that I can be hands-free. I can even be on my phone as long as I'm not, running on busy streets and such. And it's, perfectly intuitive to just ride without holding on to anything. So different feeling there. But overall, I felt more secure, more stable, more steady riding the Boosted Rev overall, and a lot more confident to go at higher speeds because I was on a nice, solid, flat, stable board, which is kind of like riding a bicycle in terms of balance and such, but I had to keep my hands on those handlebars. Definitely did not feel secure letting go of even one hand. The other thing that I didn't initially notice is that there's actually a bell on this Boosted Rev as well, so a nice little safety feature there. If you're coming up on people, you can ring the little bell, kind of reminiscent to the old bicycle bells.
We made it! So one thing that this does is when it gets to low battery, when it starts blinking red, the Boosted Rev completely slows down, goes only about 3 to 5 miles an hour, and just slowly creeps along. It still has battery juice, but it's barely moving at this point. So it gives you a little bit of a pulse at first. It feels like, oh, you're in and out, and then it eventually dies. To note, you cannot change your driving modes while you're moving. You have to come to a complete stop before you can triple press that button and change between modes 1, 2, and 3, which I get it, it's a safety thing. I would like to have seen the ability to change between 2 and 3, kind of like a gear shifting, going into a faster gear or faster mode while you're driving, just so that I could change on the fly. So after having ridden this around for a while, here are just some of my final thoughts. If you're on smooth pavement, great ride. Power is, in my opinion, unmatched currently in the just standard scooter, electric scooter realm. The 9bot is coming out. I've got one of those on the way as well from 9bot, from Segway, which I'm super excited about. And I'll definitely be doing a comparison video between the Boosted Rev and the Segway 9bot. So be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can get notified when I publish that video. That should be arriving any day now. And I definitely want to see the comparison, because from a price point, they're drastically different, but from a spec standpoint, there's a lot of similarities. In terms of the Boosted Rev here, it's a really solid ride. I would say if you're looking for a very durable, long-lasting, fairly rugged, with a lot of torque scooter, this is definitely the scooter to get. In terms of overall build quality, I'm fairly impressed. There's a couple of areas on it that I'm just kind of questioning why they designed it that way. There's nothing wrong with it really, but in terms of just fit and finish, it looks really sharp from the get-go, but when you really start to investigate some of the finer details, there's a little bit of question on there. Of course, it's their first iteration of it. I remember the first one wheel when it came out, there was a lot of questions in terms of its fit and finish, but they've come a long ways as well. As far as getting on and riding, this thing is a breeze. Little to no learning curve at all. It's like getting on and riding a bicycle basically, because all you're doing is using your normal balance of forward inertia to keep yourself balanced. It is fairly comfortable to ride with the exception of bumps. There are no shock absorbers, so you're going to feel those bumps, as you can see even right here in some of this footage, and that's really apparent. I did find that after riding it for a while, like the range on this for an average person is about 22, 24 miles, and I would say, I haven't gone that distance, but I would venture to say that your legs are really going to start feeling fatigued. Standing that long, absorbing a lot of the shocks. That is one tip that I'll give you guys. Like, don't be afraid to bend your knees a little bit.
Now's the time. You gotta get up and boogie with this, honey. Yeah.
Like, even just get down into it if you're coming across some rougher terrain, so that your knees can really absorb a lot of that impact when you're riding, especially at higher speeds. At lower speeds, you can kind of just gracefully ride them, but at higher speeds, you're definitely going to find that it's a much different ride quality, because you're going to experience those bumps with a lot more force at higher speeds. I personally have only gotten this thing up to about 20, 21 miles an hour, and I'm not wearing a helmet right now just because I'm in a controlled area in a parking lot, not going terribly fast, but I would definitely recommend anybody that wears this to always wear a helmet. You never know what can happen in terms of not just you riding it, but all the other traffic around you. This is a solid board. It is definitely different than my one wheel. My one wheel has a lot of great purposes. I can see myself just hopping on this and going back and forth from my house and my office a lot more frequently than I would, say, getting my one wheel out and navigating the terrain with my one wheel, because this is just a get on it, step on it, go. I don't have to worry about, what shoes I have on, anything. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm really glad to have it. I really appreciate Boosted Rev for creating such a durable, long-lasting. They also have some extended plans for accidental damage, which is really cool.
Speaking of plans, one of the big things I get asked when doing these videos and publishing them is, how did you learn how to do this? How'd you learn how to video edit? How'd you learn how to do it, the cool graphics? How'd you learn how to do the audio and all those things? I was homeschooled all 13 years of my life, so I learned from a very young age that I needed to teach myself things, and I could teach myself anything that I wanted to. Well, now there are programs like Skillshare where you can just log on to a site, and with their premium plan, you can get access to thousands of videos teaching you step by step how to do things. And we're talking about things such as illustration and graphic design and fine arts and animation and creative writing and photography and film and video, marketing and productivity. There are so many different skills that you can learn right inside of Skillshare, and it's a great learning community. Premium membership, it just gives you the ultimate access to everything that they offer so that you can start learning the skills that you need to advance your career or maybe just your hobby, whether you're just fueling your curiosity or you're trying to find that perfect place for learning. Now, sure, you can go YouTube your way to learn anything, but there's nothing better than to have a step-by-step guide like Skillshare offers so that you can actually learn in a structured manner. I particularly like the classes on the film and video because it allowed me to take some of my film skills to the next level. And as you can see by my video here, I'm not a professional. I'm just out here putting out some cool information, and it relates to a lot of people. And as I put out one more video and one more video, then it becomes more and more polished, and it's thanks to programs like Skillshare that have allowed me to advance my knowledge of how to do these type of technical aspects. It's also incredibly affordable. In fact, if you click the link in the description below, you're gonna get access to 2 free months of their premium membership, but it's only for the first 500 members. So be sure to click the link in the description of this video so you can access it and start learning now. Learn your way to success.
It is interesting to see how many looks I still get riding around on this. It's like people haven't realized that electric scooters are a thing, which you'd think they would be with all the publicity of major metropolitan areas having all the scooter rideshare programs. You'd think they'd be more used to it, but I was surprised at how many looks I've gotten. Of course, I got a lot of looks when I first started riding my one wheel around town, but I've gotten a lot of looks just riding this. People looking at me like, what is he riding? Why is he riding that? Is the Boosted Rev worth the price tag? Is it worth $1,600? That's a pretty steep price tag. As we know, the Boosted board was not cheap either, and that thing has stood the test of time. People still rave about it, and it's still probably one of the best electric scooters out there, electric skateboards out there that you can purchase. So I have a lot of confidence that the Boosted Rev is made extremely durable. By the looks of it, it absolutely is. It feels very, very solid underneath me. I gotta tell you, in comparison to riding some of the Birds and the other, rentable electric scooters downtown, this feels like I'm on a much more stable platform. I felt like on the other ones, I was just riding a skinny piece of metal that could snap underneath me, quite frankly. I like it. I love how solid it feels. I love how durable it feels. Now let's test out the braking. I want to test out how quickly I can come to a stop. I'm going to use the handlebar and the electric brake at the same time at 15 miles an hour. Go and brake. Whoa! Actually skidded the back tire there out a little bit. Those two together are solid. I mean, at 15 miles an hour, you can come to a really good, complete stop, so do not be afraid to just hop on and smash that brake. The longer I've ridden this, the lot more confident I've gotten on it. I've really learned to trust the Boosted Rev in terms of what it can do and the handling and balance. As you saw in the earlier footage of this video, I was very shaky getting on it because, quite honestly, I'd only ridden an electric scooter one other time. And even though I've ridden a one-wheel now for a year and a half, it's a completely different ride feel. So it took me a little bit to really kind of trust the board, knowing what it can do. So there you have it. There's my Boosted Rev video for you guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Let me know if you're going to get a Boosted Rev or you're going to try out a different scooter. Let me know down in the comments. And if there's something that I did not cover in this video that you saw or want to let people know about, be sure to let me know in the comments down there. Let me know what I missed in this video, and subscribe and hit that notification bell for more cool videos in the future. See you guys soon. Bye.